Everyone is on or unmuted unless you self-muted. Let's see. So we're going to be a discussion group. I'm going to start off with introductions. If you could just tell us who you are, where company or school you are, if you're open or closed, if you're closed, if you know when you'll open, and then I will start with the questions that were sent in, and then from there we'll move to open. Just open questions, whoever wants to jump in and ask questions. So I am Robin Dziczek. I'm the manager of Clark University's campus store, and we are currently closed, although I have been coming in to do web orders, and right now I'm in the middle of inventory prep. Our inventory year end is May 31st, so I'll be doing inventory next week. Massachusetts just announced that retail can open June 8th if all goes well, and I'm waiting to hear what the university says on top of that. Brenda, how about you next?
I'm Brenda Joffrion. I'm brand new. I'm from Canterbury School, New Milford, Connecticut. We're a 9 through 12 boarding school, and our graduation this Saturday, it's moved ahead than what we traditionally do, and I do not have an open date at all, or even fall. We're still, Connecticut hasn't, made any decisions.
Alrighty, Sandy?
Everybody, sorry, I'm in the middle of helping my assistant who's at the store, because we are sending our class ties out to all of our seniors today, and we're shipping over 100 packages. And there are a lot of questions and comments and other things that people want as well, and everybody wants something special. So,
sounds right.
I'm sorry I arrived late, Robin. What am I supposed to be telling people?
Oh, your name, where you are, if you're open or closed, and if you're closed, when you're going to open, if you know.
Okay, Sandra Yager, Deerfield Academy. We are not open for retail. We are definitely open for online and business, and we've been doing a lot of online business. And we do not have retail opening plans until probably school starts. That's all still being determined. So we will be virtual through the rest of the year. I'm going in once a week. My assistant is going in once a week. And starting next week, when the governor says everything will work again, we should be adding a couple of additional part-time people once a week to help with our inventory, which is coming up soon.
Susan, do you want to do yourself and your two attendees as well?
Sure. So Susan Kirtland, and I am I'm with L2 Brands out of Hanover, and I'm in Syracuse. I live in Syracuse. Also, Sarah Platofsky, who lives in New Jersey, and and then Scott MacDonald, who lives in Massachusetts. We're all part of the same organization. We are opening, we're supposed to open June 1st. So they're actually starting a little bit to dabble now, and we're starting to see art approvals, shipping, and confirming already orders in-house. So we also have been shipping out gaiters and face masks and kind of supplying those kind of things. So if you guys want to add to that, please do.
I'll add. I'm Sarah. I cover New Jersey, New York City, Long Island, Greenwich, Connecticut, and now probably other parts of Connecticut as well, maybe. I do mostly private schools, actually. I think a few of you are, private schools. And yeah, we're like secretly open right now, just doing production, like Susan said. We're all back on June 1st. And L2 Brands, we're back. We're going to do our 2-week reorders and 4-week new art. And then the gaiters, we have gaiters, 2 kinds of gaiters, and then the face covering, 2-layer face covering. And most of my private schools have been ordering these for, fall, because we think that that's going to be the new norm. And, it's important to at least have ones that the students want to wear, in addition to, I'm sure a lot of schools would just like buy inexpensive ones too in mass, but, we're doing more of the ones that you'll want to sell in in your school spirit shop or booster club or whatever. That's it.
Can I just ask Susan or Sarah? I think I sent a message to Joe a week or few ago asking about your offerings, and I haven't heard back. The message I got back said you guys were closed, obviously. Should I expect to hear from him this week then?
Where are you located?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Be with Scott, right?
Yeah.
We had a little.
Yeah, I guess we did.
It's been Joe.
Huh?
It's been Joe.
Yeah, Joe is no longer with the company. Let's just put it there, I guess. So
I didn't hear that. Oh, okay.
Well,
Thank you.
It
Just happened yesterday.
What?
Yeah,
It
just
happened
yesterday. So we're all really friendly with Joe. We're, we didn't expect it. It's been hard, like with the retail closing and stuff, and we kind of have a lot of reps in this area because I was covering part of Connecticut, and Scott's right there and Susan's right there. So unfortunately, Connecticut's been a funky one. I mean, I've been doing this for 11 years. There's definitely been, or in Maine and Massachusetts, we've certainly had our changes, but unfortunately, Joe's not going to go forward with L2. So it will be one of us. I'm probably thinking Scott, because you said Massachusetts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be me.
Okay,
it'll
so
probably be Scott.
I've been collecting information from various vendors to share with our doctor, so I guess I need your email address to follow up.
Sure.
So Sandy and Scott, I can send you guys each other's emails to make
Great.
it easier. Yep.
Thank you.
Did you have anything you wanted to say, Scott, in the way of introduction?
No, I was just gonna, Massachusetts right now, mostly a little bit of New Hampshire, and things are gonna change because of Joe. So, but we're basically up and running, so things are looking up.
Good. Mary, you came on late, so we're just saying our names, where we're from, and if we're open or closed, and if we're closed, when we're going to be open. Mary?
She's muted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, how about why she unmutes? Ginger?
Hi, everyone. All right, so I'm Ginger, and I'm the store manager at Hall School, and we're a private boarding and day school, but it is a private school, so we are closed. Like, the school is closed, but we are still, our operations is still running in terms of being here, counting inventory. What I've been tasked with mainly is shipping students since our students left with the intention of coming back. They went on to their spring break. We have been assisting in packing and shipping their things or storing their things. So I'm helping to arrange that. So yeah, and when are we going to reopen? Well, we hope to reopen in the fall, so we'll see. Yeah, we've got plans.
All right, and Mary?
I am back. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I'm sitting here multitasking at home. Our summer semester started yesterday, and it is an absolute nightmare. And so the students are ordering books, and we're doing sort of a curbside pickup. So I'll be going in a little bit after I print out all the orders and fulfilling them. But it's just been an absolute craziness. The students are doing all summer classes online. We're not sure what's going to happen in the fall because we're in upstate New York. So the governor's been a little tight with letting things open up, which is okay in some ways and bad in other ways. So that's kind of where we're at. So if I cut out of the meeting early, that's because I have to continue to print out all my orders and get to the campus and start to fulfill them. So that's where I stand. A little nuts.
All right. And Lyndon?
Yeah, I'm Lyndon with the College Store at SUNY Potsdam. We closed back in early March. We are only open to curbside service. We have about 80 students that are on campus that were given waivers to stay, plus there's quite a few students off campus. So we've had quite a few orders for curbside service, which has been really nice, and it's helped us. We're also offering free shipping for orders $50 or more. Summer classes, same thing, online only. So we're doing free shipping for online orders. And right now we're not sure when we're going to open, reopen. New York State's doing it kind of regionally. So there's 5 regions of the state that are currently have reopened. And we're just waiting to see when the rest of the state will reopen back up.
And Elizabeth?
Phase 1, Lyndon?
Oh.
What's that?
Are you guys in phase 1?
We are in phase 1. You mean as far as our county goes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. We just
Okay,
opened up. And from what I understand, there's 5 or 6 regions total that have opened up, and they're allowing. We still have 400 students that still have their belongings on campus, so they're allowing them to come back when their region opens up. So we have 36 kids that are coming back this weekend, even though it's Memorial Weekend, to move their stuff out. So we are going to have a couple of us working to do buyback and rental returns this weekend, so that we can capture those items back from them, those books back from them.
Okay, thanks.
And Elizabeth?
Hi, yeah, I'm Elizabeth Griffin, and I'm at the MacDuffie School in Granby, Massachusetts. It's a day in boarding school, grades 6 through 12. We are closed, and just like Ginger, we are hoping to open with kids on campus in September, but really, not much going on between now and then.
And Deborah?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Everyone? Okay, good. Deborah Doody from the Gunnery. I am here. I've been here since March. The school is basically closed. Faculty are here. Obviously, we're doing the online classes. Very limited staff other than myself. Doing mail and packages, online sales. We are researching going to selling our books through a online vendor. I've always ordered and packaged the books up for each student based on their schedule, which is going to be virtually impossible because we don't know if we're going to have kids here in the fall. If we have kids, we don't know if we're going to have the international. So that's a big project we're working on now. We are looking to push as many books as we can to ebooks and digital. I'm researching a new point of sale. We have 4 students still on campus. In March, we had 12, so they've been slowly being able to go home. These are international students. Of the 4 that we have left, 3 are from Vietnam, and we expect them to be gone at the end of May. We do have teams in place at the school that are planning for the fall, different scenarios. We also will be packaging up packages for all the graduates with their yearbook, their senior mug, the ties, the graduation ties for the boys. I will be helping with that. And we are starting on Thursday. Students will be returning to campus who live close by to retrieve their belongings. They have appointments that are very strict, 2 at a time on campus in 1 dorm. And they can only be here 2 hours and only can have 1 person help them pack up. So and I will be helping with that too. So there's a lot going on. We hope to open in the fall at some point. We hope to have students here. We do have both day and boarding. So we'll see where it goes.
All right, Brendan? You're on, Brendan, if that, okay. Hey, a little quiet.
For spring break, March 9th, and they never came back. So all the dorm rooms are still full of belongings, textbooks, rentals, all kinds of personal products, and we haven't got a plan for when students are going to be able to get back to campus to retrieve all those. we've been closed. The university's been closed since March 26th. I've still been working on campus every day processing web orders. We've seen a huge surge in web order business. Hasn't kind of made up for the loss of in-store sales from admitted student days and now commencement and upcoming June orientations, but it's something. And I've got maybe 4 or 5 other staff members that are now here on a rotating basis doing textbook related things, helping with web orders as well too. Our president has said we are having a normal fall opening, quote unquote normal. We'll see if that stays in place or not. The state allowed retail businesses to reopen as of yesterday with very strict restrictions. You can be at 25% of your kind of max capacity. Everyone in Burlington now has to wear a mask when they enter any kind of retail establishment. Staff has to wear masks as well too, and there's a whole host of other kind of safety precautions that have to be in place in a written document. There's a VOSHA occupational safety training course that staff all have to take before they can be certified to go back to work as well too. So we're working through all those steps. We're hopefully going to open our store on Church Street around June 1st. That's the target date. The main store on campus, we're not quite sure yet when that would be open to the public as well too, as we still work through some of those things. So you know, we're making the best of a bad situation. Certainly the university's in a really bad financial spot with especially enrollment for next year. We have a lot fewer out-of-state students who pay more than in-state students to come here. So layoffs seem to be on the horizon. Nobody's exactly said what that's going to look like or how much needs to be reduced, but that's sort of the reality we're dealing with right now.
All right, Laura?
I'm Laura Johnson. I'm the director of the bookstore at Finger Lakes Community College in Western New York. We've been closed since, spring break for the students. And we were not allowed to close prior to that, even though we probably should have. We had cases of COVID on campus before we closed. And we really should have closed prior to. Our child care center remains open despite having parents with positive cases, and they're still sending their kids to the child care center. Our administration seems to be the most waffly group of people I've ever met. They can't seem to make up their mind whether or not they're going to be open or closed. And they have officially made the determination that summer classes will be 100% online, but they haven't made up their mind about what they're going to do for fall. And if their history has been any indication, we could have active cases on campus and they'd still have classes. So right now, no one seems to want to make a decision, and they've been following Governor Cuomo's rules or whatever it is that he's putting out to make any sort of final decision. But unless he says specifically SUNY schools are closed, they don't want to close the doors. And it seems to come down to 100% finances. But right now I've got 300 and something orders sitting in my order queue that I can't fulfill because they won't let my staff back on campus to fulfill them. But, you know, we're here for the students. So I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard place right now. No one will make a decision. And, you know, we're trying our best to try and fulfill the needs of the students that desperately, you know, want to get an education, and we want to get them the stuff that they need to do what they need to do. So we did finally get approval from one of the vice presidents this morning to send a few staff members in to, you know, fulfill a few orders so our students can, you know, get their class materials squared away. So I'm hoping that, you know, now that, you know, students are complaining loud enough that we'll be able to get them what they need. This disorganization, I'm hoping, will subside. But if history's again any indication, I don't know where we go from here. I'm hoping that they'll start talking to fellow SUNY schools and start to, you know, put together something of a plan or something of a, I don't know, future for the school. You know, I believe everybody's trying to do their best, but there just seems to be a lot of chaos on campus. And you know, no one really wants to kind of sit down and say, okay, you know, let's put together something of a plan. It just seems to be every minute's different, and everybody changes their minds so quickly. And
hey, Laura,
yeah.
Hang in there, Laura. we're a SUNY school and we feel your pain. We're in the same boat. So hang in there.
Thank you. Because I feel so like everything is just kind of falling apart day to day. You wake up and there's 10 emails in your email box from 2 o'clock in the morning from 10 different constituencies, and they completely, you know, are against one another. One says one thing and one says the other, and they're both from vice presidents. It's like, oh my God, do you guys even talk to one another?
Oh,
shame.
Crazy. So, yeah. That's my life now. Oh, anyway.
Okay, Pauline. Yes.
Hi, I'm Pauline. I'm from Walnut Hill School for the Arts in Natick. We're a small private boarding/day school. Our big problem is we've been closed since spring break. We were going to extend spring break by a week and then planned on 2 weeks of online teaching, and we're still online teaching. The school store, nobody was allowed on campus, the teachers, nobody. They just started last week letting the students come back. If they live within a 3-hour round trip driving time, they can come back and at an appointed time and clear out their rooms. When this all started, we wound up, we have a lot of international students. We teach music, dance, theater, all the arts, and the bulk of our music students are international, mostly Chinese, Taiwanese, and the same applies to our art students. So we had 67 students stay on campus, which was unusual, but we thought they were only going to be there for about 3 weeks, and then it turned to 5 weeks, and now we still have 17 kids on campus. And my concern is that if these kids, other kids can't come back in the fall, you know, that kind of decimates a couple of our programs. I don't know, you know, I know that they're talking about all this stuff in the administrative level, but it just makes me wonder, you know, how we can manage this. And it's very hard to do our arts programs online. The school store is closed, but when they started sending out acceptances, a few parents wanted to know if they could get some items. So I said, well, just email me. I sent them pictures and I went in. They wanted me to go in 1 day a week. So I go in, they take my temperature. I have to wear a mask and gloves until I get into the store. Then I have to lock myself in. I have to be out by 11, or I could go in at 7 p.m. And that's so that the kids who are on campus don't say, oh, Pauline is here, and come running down to the store, you know. So so they don't want me to have any contact with the kids. And and we don't have an online presence. I was talking to Sandy. She was great to give me some time and talk about it. We've been online off and on through the years, but nobody's really taken ownership of the website to help us as a school-operated website. We went with one of those companies that says they'll do everything. You know, they take the orders, they ship the goods, and that was a nightmare. That never works. And so, you know, but now they want me to look at putting the school store all online again for all of the logo merchandise. And so I just feel like I'm going in circles. It's deja vu. Every time we get a new CFO or a new head of school, they all come up with this great idea. Let's just put it all online. And they don't understand that it doesn't work. And so, you know, here's where I am again. So that they haven't spoken to me really about what plans are as far as the school store is for the fall, because I think in their mind, they just want to not have to deal with it anymore. So, you know, our kids, our school is in a small town of Natick. There's a downtown where they can go if they have permission, if they have time. But, you know, for day-to-day stuff for boarding students, you know, they have to have their ramen. And when you have 70 some odd students from Asia, you know, you have to keep a big supply. And we have an Asian market that delivers to me, and, you know, a couple $1,000s worth of Asian food a week. Well, the head of school calls me the bodega. But, you know, we keep the kids with their, give them their comfort food.
Yes.
Because they're a long way from home and they need that. And, you know, we have all of the other stuff that they actually need and the logo merchandise and everything. But, you know, we're going to be reinventing ourselves again. I don't know if I'm going to be, you know, out of the picture or not. I have no idea where the fall is going to bring us. Our summer programs are obviously out because we can't do theater, we can't do dance. They're very hard to social distance for a summer program, and the kids are used to being on campus. And most of our students go to summer programs, and they won't be doing that either. So it's a really difficult situation. It's hard for everybody, but for this type of kid, it's extra hard because of, you know, just everything they do is performance-based or show-based or something, and it's all very interactive. So it's hard to, it's easier to replace academics online than it is to replace the arts online. They're doing their best, but it isn't, definitely not the same.
I just want to talk to Pauline for just a second on that. So Pauline, I'm so sorry to hear your situation, and I do feel like I can relate in like the thousands of dollars in ramen and sales, you know, and things like we have that similar similar type of setup here. One thing, Pauline, and maybe you could check with your culinary department or whoever does the meals. I was able to sell a lot of not a lot, but some of my snacks to the culinary department. We used to use an outside culinary department, so I don't know if this will make a difference because now we don't. Miss Halls employs their own culinary department, so we're able to work together a lot easier than we could have before. But they did take my ramen, and you mentioned you have 17 students still, you know, and they did buy my ramen off me and all of that to give to the students for snacks.
Well, they did come up. I got an email that said they thought this was very funny, pilfered all this stuff from the store. So they did come and take a lot of the stuff. And of course they gave me a list, and you know.
Oh no.
Description and.
Oh yes.
So,
Pauline.
We got a new point of sale system in September, and so I have to learn how to take inventory and everything. I figured the only logical way to do this is do an inventory of the all my Asian specialty foods, and then whatever I don't have, they must have taken, because I was trying to fathom what they had written, and it was just insane. So, and then I connected the student life people with the market that delivers to me, and she's been making deliveries to the school, so the kids have been at least had their needs satisfied that way, you know. But it's just a nightmare, you know. They're just so clueless, you know, when they do this thing, you know. It's like, okay, yeah, and then everybody's saying thank you for giving us this food. It's like
right?
No, it's not quite that way, you know. And it's actually the school's property, so
yeah. And yeah, I can oh my gosh, I can imagine. After this call, we should connect, because I'd love to hear more about the Asian market that you get your supplies from. So let's try to connect after that, and we can.
Yeah, because where is your school?
Well, I'm way over in the Berkshires,
in the
Western
Berkshires.
Massachusetts.
So she may have a connection or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get my stuff online, but.
Well, if you can find a small local market. I used to go to a place that was mostly Korean in downtown Framingham, and I started going and buying a few things, and I buy a lot of things. Then he finally said, you know, I can deliver to you. And he bought a van just so he could deliver.
Awesome.
He's been out of business. And then our demographics changed a lot. So most of our international kids are Chinese or Taiwanese and not Korean anymore. After their market crash, things changed. And of course, you know, China embraced capitalism, so we have a lot of kids. But another market opened up, and I started to do the same thing. I'd go buy a few things, and then I'd buy more, and then she started delivering. So if you can get a connection, and she gives me like a 10% discount.
Okay, well, we'll definitely, after this meeting, we should connect by email. Definitely.
That's awesome.
I'll email you. So, all right, thank you. Thanks, guys, for letting me jump in on that.
And Charli, are you still there?
I am.
Sorry I was late.
No.
We are open for online sales. The campus has been closed since March 18th, basically. For me, it was just me coming in for a while to do orders. We are actually doing an on-campus buyback this week at our downtown location. So we have everything wiped down and everybody's in masks and nobody can come in. All of our summer classes are going to be online, so we've been filling those orders every day. And we're not sure if we're going to be online completely in the fall. So hopefully we'll have an answer by June as to whether that happens. We have about 90 students in the res halls, and childcare is still open as well. That's about where we're at. But yeah, the online, and we are COVID testing on the backside of our campus. So nobody can come in except for the employees come through the front door, and then the COVID testing's on the backside. So nobody's around. That's about it.
Alrighty. Did I miss anyone?
It's Leslie from Colgate.
Oh, yes. Are you the iPhone?
Yes, that's me.
Okay. How are things at Colgate?
Well, we're doing okay. We closed March 18th, and then we opened for online orders about 3 weeks later. So we were able to process right up until last Friday, and now we have permission to have 3 people in the store to now focus on textbooks for the next few weeks. So that's what we're going to be doing. Overstock returns, and then any kind of rental returns, with the hope that we'll be able to wrap that up by the first week in June, and then go back to processing online orders with one person in the store at any time with, our cleaning program and so forth. And like so many others, we're not sure if we'll be going back to classes on campus. We will know by the end of June what that model is going to look like. The majority of all the summer camps and programming have been canceled, so our traffic is definitely going to be way down. So, I'm curious, what is everyone planning to do for fall rush textbooks? We obviously can't have the model that we've had before with, 500 students in line at the store, but are you thinking about delivery or shipping textbooks directly to the students? Are you doing it for free? Different days for delivery? I'm curious what everybody is going to be doing or thinking about.
Who knows?
Our textbooks are outsourced, so it's out of my hands. It's always been delivery, so online order and delivery. So I don't know if anyone really has an answer until they find out what's going on. But
hey, Leslie,
does anyone have
it's Brendan. So we set up a shipping method, and we're Nebraska school too. So we set up one for shipping method called dorm delivery. And we're working with our print and mail department. So we're going to process the orders. We'll hand them off to them. They're already doing deliveries to the dorms on a daily basis with exterior packages that are coming to campus. So they're going to put them into their stream and deliver them to dorms. And we've had that in place for about a year. So we're going to rely on that model. We're thinking that we're going to take over some space in the building, a ballroom in the building that's not going to be used for normal purposes because of gathering distance limitations, and stage out of there, and then we can control that space and have people that have placed web orders that want to pick them up come in, pick it up there, and then leave in a safe manner. Normally our stacks are open, but we're essentially thinking we're going to have to shut down the textbook department to the public, both to allow us the room to operate and then just for safety.
Great, thank you. I like the idea of dorm delivery.
What we're looking at doing here is having everybody pre-order their books on our website. That way it'll help cut down the traffic in the store. We have our convenience store that we just closed and moved into the college store, so we have that space that we can send students to. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to deliver in the dorms, and the school won't deliver for us. So we're kind of restricted that way. But that's kind of what we're thinking of doing.
I'm on the same, or in the same boat as Lyndon. We're thinking about doing no more in the, we're all counter service anyway, but there's going to be no, novel pickups in the store. Everything has to funnel through the website. You have to do a pre-order, and then everything will be boxed up. And at that point, then, we can do pickups with, the proper amount of social distancing. And the campus right now is measuring all of my counters and everything for the plexiglass windows, and they're providing us with the stickers for the floor. So, at least that's something. So we'll have to kind of move stuff around on the floor, but we'll probably, funnel everything through the website one way or another. So there won't technically be counter service to speak of. It'll just be, everything will come through the website.
For us, the biggest challenge is kind of managing customer expectations. People order things online, they expect it right at that particular moment or within a day or 2 days. And if we don't have that relief valve of letting people come into the store to buy things, everybody has to go through the website. Our processing times are going to increase. There's a hiring freeze in place now, so we can't hire the normal temps that we have in the past to process orders. So we're looking at a multiplication of the number of orders with fewer people to process them. So trying to get people to order early ahead of coming to campus to help spread it out a little bit, and managing those expectations is the biggest thing we're still working through right now.
Brendan, do you anticipate seeing a drop in enrollment because of this?
The numbers are still coming in. The deadline was May 1st, and they held to that. They've seen an increase in the number of in-state students that are planning to attend, and a decrease in the out-of-state students. But we're seeing a lot of kind of anecdotal evidence that people put in deposits, but they might not actually show up in the fall. Okay. To hold their spot, they put in the deposit, but depending on how the situation goes or how their comfort level or whatever, we're still anticipating enrollment to be down. And like I said, there's a very big difference between in-state tuition and out-of-state tuition here at UVM. So losing those out-of-state students, or a lot of the international students from China that pay full freight, is going to put a big crunch on us. And this is our first year, the university president decided not to raise tuition for the upcoming school year. So tuition's been frozen from last year's rates for this upcoming year as well too. So there's added pressure with the enrollment management numbers.
Yeah.
I will say, on a positive note, and I hadn't thought of it this way, but it was mentioned, having less people in the fall will help with social distancing within the dorms. So it's like, it's a two-edged sword there. So you have the money for the room. One of the questions that did come in, as long as we're talking about textbooks, is buyback. How are people handling buyback? Have they gone virtual, online? Are they still doing it in person? Sounds like you're going to be doing it in person, Lyndon, or the store will?
We're doing both. We've set something up with MBS that the student can go to our website and type in the information, get a price, download print off a label and ship it to MBS, and then we get a commission. But we've got, because of the number of students on campus, we're doing buyback and rental returns on campus, but we have a double door. So they'll bring the books in through the first door, leave it on a counter with their name and their student ID number. We have an employee that goes out with garb, a mask, gloves, gets it, comes in, does the information, does what they need to do, and then lets the student know what they're getting back as far as money, gives them their ID back, and then goes on to the next person. But we're doing it by they got to call in and reserve a time to do it. So we're doing it by that way.
We're doing the same kind of thing. We have a Nebraska version of what Lyndon described through MBS for people that want to sell their books remotely, mail them back to Nebraska. There's enough of us here at the store, especially collecting textbook rentals, that we're also doing buyback if students, as they're cleaning out their off-campus apartments or whatever, have books they want to sell. We're really waiting for Res Life to figure out when students can get back to campus and get into their dorms, because there's a lot of rental books, a lot of books that could be sold in those dorm rooms still, despite the university telling everybody to take all their course materials with them when they left for spring break. So we're going to have some mobile buyback sites set up once that information kind of is fleshed out from Res Life about when students will be back and how that phased approach will go.
Anything else on textbooks? All right, the next question that had come in was about masks and if people are selling them, if they're doing logos or regular, cotton poly. I will say what I've heard on the national calls I've been on is people are making sure if they are selling masks, they're clearly labeled as whether or not they're medical grade or not. And some people, it's more of a school choice whether they have logos on them or not. For me here, I chose to go with gaiters just because they'd have a longer shelf life if this blows over. So I won't be stuck with logoed masks, but I would have a gaiter which could use. What are other people's thoughts on that?
So I posed that question because I was asked a few weeks back to do the research for our student life and doctor's office. And the school's made a commitment to purchase masks for everyone to have multiples when we get back to school in the fall. So I'm trying to source about 2,500 masks, and they want them to be decorated because if they're going to make everybody wear them, they want them to have something interesting on them. But my question is really, if we're going to be distributing them, is there any value or reason to sell them in the store?
Right.
So anybody coming up with that dilemma?
Well, in that case, I have an aunt who lives in a Masonic campus, and she was asked to make masks for the residents or organize masks for the residents and the staff, and which she did. But then people came to her and said, could they have more? Because they don't want to wash them as frequently. So they
well, we know our students will be not washing things very frequently.
So they did make some to sell because people wanted to buy them. Well, they wanted them for free, but they were willing to purchase them. So the kids are going to lose them no matter what. Thank you, Ginger.
Pretty. Model
Yeah.
my, yeah.
What I found is that being on the other side, as people are reaching out and because we have 2 different gaiters and we have 2 different face masks, that they're kind of, because we don't have a huge minimum on them. So they're buying maybe a couple different ones because it might be staff that want, I know it's called gaiter, but it kind of makes me think of like I kind of think of it as like a removable turtleneck for all of us people that are in the north. That I think it's kind of cool now, especially got like little C, whatever your letters are, your word mark. And,
yeah.
I agree with Robin that that's like the most versatile because you can use your hair, headband, arm, whatever. Really because like 2 different price points, the other kids are nicer than the other, and they can be kind of cool because the buff all started from. Forgot to mention it this morning. That was what the buff actually came from, with a raw edge and all that. So in some of the kids' eyes, it's probably born, and there's a student. And even if like some people think they want to do.
And I'm sorry, I forgot. I was going to mention it this morning. Again, I forgot all about it because they were in my back stock room.
Okay, but so even if some places they don't have to keep pulling them out, it's just easy to go. Kind of thing, and then it's cute this way, and it's coverage for the colder weather. So there's different price points and low min, and that's just kind of the. And some people are getting some of the scrunchies to go with them, so it's kind of like an extra added on sale to make it kind of cute. That's just
fashion.
Huh?
That is a cute idea.
Yeah. Where are they being made? Are they being made in the States or in China? How is?
Well, we have some really. No. They're made. Well, we have a company in El Salvador that it's our own company.
Oh.
So probably we will be sublimating there, but everything is up here in Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about getting them quickly or whatever. We sublimate them. We have the licenses. we have the artwork, we have the low min. So yeah, they're not made in China. That's our regular material that we used for like our bandeau or our pants. That's the more expensive one, and the little less expensive one is all poly. And then they have some hang tag and hang value. You know, we've got like little hang tags. So I think kind of mixing it up, because not everybody's going to want a face mask. I mean, we have it's just a solid, and it's pretty flimsy, and you can wash it and all that. But personally, I'm going to get myself a gaiter. I think it's kind of cool.
Susan?
I love that idea.
Susan, I was asked to get specifically cotton masks, and there's a lot of vendors who are offering poly. Do you have any information from CDC guidelines or anywhere else that indicates what the good, bad, or ugly is about poly versus cotton? Because our doctor is trying to figure that out right now.
Yeah. I don't, but I I see where you said clearly marked. I don't know, but they're not medical, but they're, you know, they're, I don't even know how medical you can get unless you have that N95 kind of thing, you know?
He felt he was following CDC guidelines by going with cotton. That's why I'm wondering where the poly comes in.
Okay.
Well, it's the tightness of the weave,
right?
Basically.
Okay.
So you can get a little tighter weave with the polyester.
Well, they say this is like a per candle sheet because it has more thread, the higher thread count, so there's less porousness, and the knit things generally aren't as good because they're too porous. And then the other thing is the light test. They say if you hold it up to a light and you can see through it, then it's probably not.
Right. Well, I gotta say that, to be honest, our cotton ones are like a regular t-shirt material, and they're very thin. I have it. It's super thin. I love it because I can eat through it. But like the more expensive gaiter is a 2-layer that's fused together. So it's thicker.
Yeah.
And then the less expensive gaiter is a single layer with a raw edge, which is fine. It won't fray, but that's less expensive. And then we have a mask. We have 2 masks, like the one I showed you, and then the other one is a double layer. They are looking at making that other layer maybe a more medical acceptable layer inside of the cotton. That's up there and an option, and all of you, it's all changing all the time. But I will pose that question, and I'll ask Scott to get to, like, if they have any medical specifications, but it's no different than everything everybody's been wearing, you know, kind of thing. This is the least expensive one we have. It even has we made them and gave them out to a lot of people, like a lot of the frontline people. And this one was a t-shirt. It actually still has a pocket.
Oh, okay.
They won't come with pockets on yours, but
I will say just about every clothing vendor is doing them now, Sandy.
Yeah,
All Star Dogs is doing them as well. Blue 84. I have L2. Just about every one of my clothing vendors I've gotten an email from that says they're doing them. So some are plain, some are logoed. It's just a matter of pick your price point and pick what you want at this point, I think, in regards to the masks.
Well, I've been in touch with 15 vendors so far, and the question that came back from the doctor was he wanted only the cotton, and then he found out that 2 prep schools have already ordered poly versions from Boathouse, actually. And hello.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, so that's where we're at this point.
You know, but like Cornell's ordered them, Syracuse has ordered them, Colgate's got them, and Leslie, or, you know, he ordered a couple. It may not be all he got, you know, maybe there's some that are more medical than others. So just putting out there the information I have, that's all.
Sandy, thank you so much for all. I say, Pauline, Sandy was a wealth of information for helping get an online store. I appreciate it. It even connected me to this group. So we were in the same situation, Pauline. We did not have an online presence. I guess we did several years ago, and then it's been off. And then all of a sudden with this, it was, hey, can you do an online store like tomorrow?
Yes.
And so same type of thing, but I can't say enough to Sandy and her help, and even generating me to this group, which I had not heard of. So much kudos to Deerfield and Sandy. But in regard to the mask as well, Sandy, so I obviously, as everybody has been approached by everybody as far as, hey, we can provide you with this, and our student life and administration, obviously we're going to provide them as well. But one of the concerns was by selling them online, does that kind of say, hey, we're going to try to profit from COVID? Has that come up at all as far as the back and forth is the student life, and do we give them just plain regular ones, or do we have them imprinted, or does the school store sell them? Obviously, as we talked before, fashion may now become some sort of, I'm loving this scrunchy idea, as this becoming a fashion statement. Yes, you can get one, and yes, we might just give them all plain ones out, but now does this become our new fad, if you will, of different kinds and different things, since that's going to be required? Has that come up in in any of your, as far as whether or not we give them to the students or sell them, and how many schools have already purchased, some to start, if we do start the fall, or even have them on their online stores currently? Does anybody, can anybody speak to that as far as?
I did see an article recently about the idea of it's going to be the new fashion, because everybody's going to be wearing them for the next year, maybe. So we were taking a tip from, I guess, some of our Asian friends who have been doing this for quite some time, and so they've been going the fashion route for a while. But you get designer ones soon.
Right. So is the consensus that of this particular group, that is the direction that your intention is to sell them within your school stores?
Not yet. We're going to provide them to the students, and we're trying to determine if we should sell them or not. And I do like the idea of offering something different, like a gaiter, maybe,
right,
which has a multi-purpose feel to it. So
exactly. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a decision until we know one way or the other what's going to go on. But Brenda, like you, we do get accused of, oh, you're going to profit from this whole thing. We get accused of that quite often.
Right, and that's been a concern. They're like, should we buy them? Should we not? And how is that going to be perceived by our,
We're doing a service to our community by making them available.
And we're a store, so it's okay.
Right.
It's just okay to sell things and profit.
Exactly.
I wouldn't gouge. But don't gouge them on prices, but we have not come to a decision yet in our school either. We're waiting, but my current thought on it is that we would supply regular masks for free to the students. But I'm loving this gaiter idea with why not have something in the store? We're a store. Why not?
Right, exactly. We're
buy it.
Right. And the students are going to want different things. I mean, just like they want different things, variety and comfort level of what do they find comfort if they're going to have to wear them.
Why not?
All day.
But they still think I should give books away for free.
Right.
Yeah.
For one,
I haven't been told that, but
for one, the cold weather is on our side. It's like a removable turtleneck. It has so many good functions, and they have to be able to find them. I think if they couldn't find them in your store, it would be a crime, because
agreed.
They have the ability to go out somewhere else and go find them. Oh my gosh, I forgot, and I got to go to class, and you know what I mean?
I know it.
Available.
We compete against Walmart though, because they're right across the street.
Yeah, we have to have a bus to have our kids. They have to take what they call a toaster. It's the little mini buses, but they have to, do it over the weekend. Call the toast. I mean, they call it the toaster, but it's great to get feedback from you, so that when I go back to my student life and the email that I got yesterday, I can you know, give all these suggestions as far as, hey, we're providing a service. And we all know that if they even give them 2 of them, more than half of them are going to be lost within. Absolutely. I'm dealing with 9th through 12th graders versus college students, a little bit, maybe a little bit more mature, but y'all already know that they're not going to, they're not going to have them, you know, they're going to get lost. They're going to get misplaced. I mean, as it is, I have kids come in for a t-shirt or a pair of socks or a sports bra because they don't want to go back to their, or they don't have the time to go back to their dorm before they're supposed to board a bus to go on. So I'm thinking, if they don't have those, you know, you don't have socks or shoes and things like that they need, how are they going to board a bus or, you know, or wherever without a mask?
First time doing laundry.
This is true.
Oh, yeah.
So I do feel like if this is going to be a requirement, I need to have them, just like you said, so that they can come in and purchase.
The one thing I think as a state school we need to be aware of, any of the other state schools, is this political undercurrent of you can't make me wear a mask. It was something that kind of, I was talking to a friend of mine and they said, you know, I don't know how schools are going to, you know, navigate that one. I mean, obviously a private school can get away with it. You want to be here, you put that mask on. A state school may run into, especially a community college, with it being a public campus, you may run into that kind of undercurrent where you can't make me wear a mask, you're infringing on my personal rights. Now, from a personal perspective, I think it's garbage, but at the same time, there is that going on. And, you know, as a store, can you say to a student walking into your store, no, you must put a mask on if you're going to be in here? You know, you know, where is that line drawn? You know, whatever. So that may also be something we might want to think about having a conversation with campus police, campus safety, the administration, student life, because those things are going to come up once we're back on campus, if and when we get back on campus, if those things have not already been resolved. So it's just a thought.
So we're actually running out of time.
Hey, Robin, I got one quick thing I wanted to say that we're doing that's fun.
Yeah.
We do a class of t-shirt every year. So for this year's incoming freshman class, we've added our mascot wearing a mask.
That's great.
So something fun and different.
Yeah. Yes.
Lyndon, you'll have to send it to us so we can see it.
Yes. And if you send us a picture, are there any other last minute comments before we are mindful of everyone's time? Questions, comments?
I'll just quickly chime in. If you're doing curbside pickups or ramping up your curbside pickups, we found this great program that helps customers schedule a time in a day. It's called Calendly, Calendly. And you can set the appointment intervals at 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half hour, whatever. You send them a link, and then they get to choose the day and time within the established parameters that you've set up. And it's helped us really manage our pickups, so we don't have to go back and forth through email. Nobody's answering the phones here, so we don't have to worry about phone calls. It's been a really great thing. It is free. There's paid versions of the service, but you can start out with the free version for one-on-one appointments.
Brandon, is that an app? Nice. Is that a phone app?
There is a version you can download on your phone. So I went to their website, calendly.com, and signed up for it. And then I have it on my phone. So at the beginning of the day, I just open up the app. It'll show me the scheduled appointments for the day. I pull their orders, have them ready to go. So everything works really smoothly through it. So it might be worth checking out that or something similar. It's Calendly.
Cool. Thank you, Brendan.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks. If anyone does want to stay on the line, I'll do a swooping when we're all done and people go. If anyone does want to stay, I'll do a swooping little view of my new school store.
Oh, cool.
New as of September. So last
wow.
But,
all right. Any other comments?
All I wanted to add.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Stay healthy.
Thank you again, Sandy.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
This is awesome.
So you have to picture it with the merchandise in it, because obviously like I'm doing inventory, so it's not full of merchandise right now. But I went from, so for those of you who don't know, I was a counter store. I was just a counter with shelves behind me. So now I've got all this space.
So much
like,
bigger,
around
Jen. Congratulations.
I know.
Got racks and everything. That's awesome.
Nice. And then the other half of the room behind the bookshelf, there's another half of the room with a kitchenette area. In our culinary department, the intention is that they'll use it for, well, we don't know now, but the intention was that they use it for classes, cooking classes, or like just fun things with the students. But there's tables and chairs set up, so it's a little sitting area right now that the students would hang out in. So I've got like a little, like the popular hangout. But but you have to picture it without the merchandise. Like a lot of it's boxed right now, but that would be like all snacks. Oh, where'd you go? Hold on. Where'd you guys go? There you are.
Oh, we still see you.
So the shelving units there would be like overflowing with snacks and ramen.
It's really cute.
It was just a vision in your mind.
What's that?
It was just a year ago that it was just a vision in your mind. We
Yes. Yep. We were really busy all last summer getting it ready.
Great.
And, I remember seeing it last June, and it was just an empty room and a absolutely a vision. So it looks great, Ginger. Way to go.
It's been a lot of fun. It was a really fun most of the year. So and our sales were so good. And our sales were so good that they're still good despite things. But I can't wait to see. I'm feeling very positive about the next school year. So I can't wait to see what we're gonna do next year. But
Well,
I think
I'm very happy for you, Ginger. I have to run though because we have hundreds of boxes going out the door today.
All right, I'm gonna run too. Bye, guys. Thank you for taking my little tour. Bye. Good to see you all.
Bye.